Right now, though, joined by a very special guest, Jamie Goddard, frontman, manager, and very much the driving force behind the brilliant band, the Zoots. They've toured more than 35 countries, played all kinds of iconic venues, and now they have a very exciting new project called the 60s Talent Show, a new live experience. Audiences get to decide which legendary 60s band goes through to the next round. But let's hear more about it. It's coming to the Ivory Bridges Mortimark Theatre on March the 20th and Paynton's Palace Theatre on May the 16th. And Jamie is here to talk all about it. Jamie, hello.
Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely lovely to have you with us. What an interesting concept. So, many of us will have heard your brilliant band on stage. If we haven't even been to, see you in the flesh, we'll have caught a really great video. But in this one, the audience gets to decide because we've got a whole new interactive angle to it. So what inspired this?
Well, I've always played 60s music. The Zoots been doing a Sounds of 60 show, and the promoter spoke to me and said, would you consider dressing up as 8 different bands? And I said, that's a lot of costumes. But we've tried it, and trying to give a bit more value back to the audience, and also to give them the position where they can choose which band goes through to the next round. So we don't know what's going to happen in the show. So every time we've done it, it's been completely different.
You touched on something actually I wanted to ask. How on earth do you cope with that many costume changes?
Well, luckily we've got a lady called Lauren Potter who is our compere. So while we're off backstage frantically trying to find our Rolling Stones costume or Beatles costume or Kinks costume, Lauren will sing songs by Petula Clark and Shirley Bassey and all those kind of greats, and then hopefully she'll sing a song. By the time she's finished singing her song, we can come back dressed as the Beatles or the Monkees or the Searchers or the Beach Boys as well is another one we do, and the Who.
Do you ever get stuck though? And you're like, just keep singing, we've just got a zip issue.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
It's very funny, and we have been known for some people in the band to come on dressed as the wrong band because there's 10 different costumes, so for us that's quite a new thing, but it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of great 60s music. We're really hoping that when we're playing Ivory Bridge, it's the first time we've ever played there on the 20th of March. So we're really hoping that when we play, that it'll be a full house. And it's a great show. It's great fun. And it's a lot of great 60s music.
I love the idea of accidentally mixing up the costumes. So when the audience is deciding, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to put through the Monkees. They had a bit of a Mick Jagger swagger. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, that sounds great. Oh, fantastic. So in terms of is it more concert? Is it more competition? What would you say?
So we'll start off, Lauren will sing a song, and then she'll explain the song. So everyone gets a voting card, or they just put their hand up. So you have 2 bands play. So the Beatles and the Searchers, and they'll play a song each. Then the crowd decides which one that they preferred, and they'll make a noise and they'll go into the next round. So you'll get another song by them in the second half. So we do it like that, and then it's 2 bands, and then it's the Kinks and the Monkees, I think, and then whoever the crowd prefer. So every time we've done it, it's been completely different. Sometimes there's fans of particular bands, but it's great value. That's the thing. I think from an outsider point of view, you're essentially getting 8 bands and a compere and just a lot of craziness, and then we do a 60s party at the end. So everyone can have
enormous sense of value there as well. Yeah, brilliant. I love that. And I love the sound of you almost tailoring the shows for different towns or theatres. And how do you know about who likes what? Do people contact you beforehand going, I'm a massive Kinks fan, can we do more of the Kinks?
You don't always know. It's just on the night it always surprises me, because we've done the show 4 times, I think, or 5 times, and each time a different band has won it. So it just depends, really. Whoever makes the most noise, really, I think, is the one that gets through.
Fair enough.
But it's a lot of fun. And we've got some great costumes. But it's funny, that's the thing. It's quite light-hearted. Although take the music seriously, but it's just good fun. It's a good fun night out.
And how did you decide, how did you narrow down the bands that you were going to feature? Was it more what all of you guys are into, or did the public have an influence on that?
It's having 3 songs that potentially everybody would know. So that's a challenging thing. Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, the Beach Boys. We do the Searchers, the Who. They're very popular. And the Monkees. It's who's going to tick the most boxes, really. And then everything that we don't do, Lauren sings in between, like Cilla Black, like some Motown and things that we aren't able to cover. And then we have a 60s pass at the end where we do all sorts, like Roy Orbison, Shadows, Cliff Richard, just like a big 60s party. So it's a lot of fun.
And you mentioned the Searchers there, because you've worked with the Searchers, haven't you? And that's something that the manager actually has talked a lot about you, praised your singing, which I totally agree with. And been a bit of a mentor to you?
My dad used to be in a band. Yeah, definitely. Spencer James was in a band with my dad, so we grew up knowing him really well. And he sang at my mum's 40th, and like it was a big part of us growing up. So he was a big inspiration for me, and also just to get into 60s music as well. Because, so he was a big inspiration. And also my dad was a drummer, but essentially he gave it up once I was born because mum said he wasn't allowed to do it anymore. So he had to look after us instead. So there's a good connection, and the Searchers manager Alan Field helped me very much with my publishing and just getting noticed. So it's a very small industry, and everybody kind of knows everybody. And
your songs have made it all over the world. I love this one. I'm sort of like been listening out for which of the adverts. I think it was OK Nokia, but also your music apparently helps students learn English in China. How does that work?
Alan Field, the manager of the Searchers, got my songs published, and he got one of his singers who was very big in China to sing my songs. And as he's so famous at the time in China, they used the songs to help. So I wrote a couple of songs for him, and they used those songs to help Chinese people learn English and learn the words and stuff like that. So there's some kids out there in China listening to my songs but have no idea probably that I wrote it, and there's no copyright laws in China, so I don't get any money for it, but it doesn't matter. It's a funny thing.
Oh, so we could be awaiting the next sort of throwback Chinese version of K-pop where they suddenly start singing your songs. That'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, definitely.
That is a really,
it's so great. True though. Music does help people learn languages. It's so true, because I guess people, even if they haven't got a strong grasp of a language, might know some lyrics quite coherently.
Absolutely. And when you see somebody who's Spanish singing English songs, you kind of just assume that they can talk English. Mm. But it's quite hard. It's like when I sing La Bamba, it seems like, I hope there's no Spanish people to hear how badly I'm pronouncing all these words.
Are you completely unaware of what you're saying? Like, so if someone taught you the wrong lyrics, you could literally be going supermarket, wash basket, car wash. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely. It could be just a collection of word salad. Yeah, definitely. I love that. That's brilliant.
What it is, it sounds like a child singing it, because when we toured in Holland, there's a song called Listen to the Rhythm of the Pouring Rain, and there's a Dutch version, and I learnt that, and I think the Dutch people really liked it. They said that I just sounded like a child singing it, so that's so quite cute. Nice.
That's lovely. Well, it's like the whole misheard lyrics, particularly when we're children, we mishear lyrics, don't we? Like, that was my favourite bit, actually, for when my little boy was tiny, and it made me really sad when he stopped and learnt the right lyrics, because it was just so charming when he'd get it all wrong. And I'm sure we've all been there. Like, one of my favourites, I can't remember if this was Victoria Wood one, but Bohemian Rhapsody, where it's Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, and someone heard it as Beelzebub has a devil for a sideboard. Yeah, so things like that are just great. They're really brilliant. Good stuff. So the fact that you've performed in like 35 countries now and some incredible venues, but you're all very, very grounded and just love your music. You don't do it for sort of the fame or the adulation, I think. But is that still nice when people are really high energy and yelling for more?
It is very nice. And I think what's special, we played last night, and there's a lot of people that are 60 plus, and after the show, somebody came up to me last night and said, "You've maybe relived my teenage years. We used to go to dance halls and see the bands that you've played tonight. We actually went and saw them, and it makes us feel like teenagers again. And when you see how it rejuvenates certain people, that's amazing, because I just can't imagine what that must feel like. And they bring their grandchildren along, their kids, and they all know the music of the 60s as well. It's amazing. It's still on TV adverts, radio adverts and things like that, and it's still like played a lot on the radio, so it's all songs that people know. And it's very, very special to be in that position, because we're a fairly young band, I think they're even more impressed that we're trying to cover the bands of their era. So it's a really special feeling.
That's what's so fabulous now, though, is that people can easily source when they hear a song and go, oh, I like that. You know, regardless of the era, they can just literally tap it into their phones now and find it. It's just, you know, I used to dream of that kind of future when I was, you know, getting smash hits and sort of poring over the lyrics to try and learn them. Definitely, it's just a touch of a button now, which is crazy. Well, this is going to be brilliant. So coming once again to the Ivy Bridge Watermark Theatre, that's March the 20th. Paynton is the Palace Theatre on May the 16th. If you just do a little search for the Zoots, I assume you get all the info there on how audiences vote and what have you.
Yeah, thezoots.com, and all our dates are on there. And have a look on there. It's, as I said, it's a lot of fun. It's an entertaining show, and we've got a great band. We've really got a great, fantastic band with some fantastic musicians, and Lauren's great as well, doing the compere, and a bit of comedy in there as well. So it's great.
Always good. Jamie, thank you so much. An absolute pleasure to talk to you. Jamie.
Caroline, thank you.
And Jamie from the Zoots, enjoy, if you're going along, to enjoy that 60s talent show extravaganza.